I recently met Patrick Gibson. He was a little stiff that day, but it got me thinking, what would 007 First Light look like as a board game? Welcome to Skill and Dachshund. Today we're exploring the world of espionage, the British and dapper looking suits of 007 First Light. In the First Light video game you have free movement around the map and even have multiple entrance points to certain locations, adding to that freedom. I tried to recreate that for the board game. For the map I took heavy inspiration from one of my all-time favorite board games, Zombicide 2nd Edition. Zombicide uses these modular map tiles that have these rooms players can go into from different access points. Players can then loot these rooms with the items in the game. The map is built depending on the mission you chose to play. So yeah, Zombicide has a very cool map system. So I stole it. Lazy? Yes. Effective? Also yes. But I don't completely want to rip off Zombicide, so I'm adding my own little twists to the map. Also, an important mechanic of 007 First Light is the restricted areas. These will be on certain tiles. We'll return to the restricted areas soon. The mission card asks for certain map tiles to assemble the map, where players put together the map and now they're ready to begin. And now with an understanding of the map, we can talk a bit about movement and actions. Agents or players have 3 actions per turn. On an action they can choose between the following: move to another room, they can gather intel if not in a conflict, recharge their equipment if close to a charge, recharge focus if not in a conflict, resolve a conflict, heal lost health if not in a conflict, reestablish undercover status if not in a conflict, bluff a guard if not in a conflict, and share intel if not in a conflict. And the main objective though is dictated by the mission cards, and this is usually to gather intel to succeed the mission. In the 007 video game, gathering intel is done by eavesdropping on a conversation and following that trail of information. And to recreate this feeling of investigating a lead, in the board game, the intel cards have been introduced. If you are in the same room as an intel icon, you can use your action to eavesdrop. You then draw an intel card to follow the trail the intel will lead you down. These cards are also the main driving force of the narrative. These cards have 3 to 5 levels of intel gathering on them, like investigating the trail of information to its end. When followed to the end, an intel card is discarded and an intel token is placed on the mission card. The agent has successfully gathered intel. These intel cards usually make the restricted areas come into play, where players have to infiltrate guarded areas by bluffing their way in or sneaking past guards by the use of their gadgets. If you don't have the right tool for the job, you can share intel with your fellow agents. Originally, I wanted players to be in the same room to do so, but in the game, the recruits use their earpieces to communicate, so it makes sense players can do it from anywhere as an action. This also encourages teamwork. By sharing intel, any other agent may follow up on a lead if they have the right gadget. This should also in theory give everyone a chance to use their gadgets and feel badass when they are the ones to further the intel gathering. The only problem with this would maybe be the immersion, or rather realism. In-game only one agent follows up on a lead, which makes sense if you're the one to pass guards or talk to a contact. Having another agent do it seems unrealistic. In the nightclub level, the recruits do work together to follow up on their leads, so it might make sense, but this is also a hypothetical board game. We do not care about realism, we care about what's fun. And I think now it's high time we get into the meat of the game, the gadgets. Arguably, the most fun mechanic of First Light is the gadgets. These help you with the mission to sneak past guards, break property, or give someone a really bad day. In the video game, you start with 2 gadgets and allowed up to 4 at the end. In the board game, you can pick 2 gadgets during the preparation. To encourage teamwork, a good spread of gadgets will prove beneficial. A player can't have the same 2 gadgets, but a team can have any number of the same gadget. The gadgets include the Q-Watch, stylish, above my pay grade, and effective against technology. This watch can hack doors to open them, to allow access, or relock them to deny access. The laser strap, discreet, way too fun, and not recommended by eye doctors. This strap can blind any guard for a turn, allowing you or a teammate to sneak past the guard. The poison dart, silent, not a good time, and a stomach ache. These poison darts disorient the guards it's used on, forcing them to move from their post for 1 turn. The shock camera, good on a vacation and a shocking experience. The shock camera stuns 2 conflict tokens in the same room as you. Smoke pods, Need a smoke? This little liner took that request way too seriously. For 1 round, no conflict tokens will affect you or your allies in the room. Flash mines. With active noise cancelling and a good bass, place the token in a room and cancel out any conflict tokens that would have spawned that round. Just like in the video game, the gadgets rely on charge. That is tracked by these blue or green tokens. Blue represents the charge of battery-driven gadgets and green for chemical charges. It takes an action to refill one of them, and you have to be in the same room as a battery or chemical icon to recharge. Gadgets are also used in the intel gathering process, with certain tasks requiring to use more specific gadgets. Teamwork then becomes extremely important, and gadget use becomes more methodical. You spend your charge against guards, or do you spend them to gather the intel? Oh, wait a minute. It actually says right here in the official rulebook that you legally have to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Wow, as a game designer, I gotta say, that's just excellent game rules right there. You don't want to break the rules, guys. But we need a bit of conflict, don't we? In the video game, we can't just walk in and steal the secrets. People try to punch or shoot us if we are spotted. It's now that we return to the restricted areas. The primary conflicts come from the restricted areas of the game. If you end your turn in a restricted area, a conflict starts, and a conflict token is placed beside your agent token. By default, an agent's conflict threshold is 3. If more than 3 tokens are in the room, the agent is overpowered and restrained. You'll need another agent to come and rescue you. Being restrained will ensure that one conflict token stays in the room as a guard. You can either use your gadget actions or the resolve conflict action to get rid of a token, but each turn ended in a restricted area will spawn a conflict token, so maybe don't overstay your welcome. To increase the conflict threshold, players can assist each other in conflicts. So with 2 agents in a conflict, the total conflict threshold becomes 6, beating the bad guys with the power of friendship. But it's not all fun and games. Wait, okay, it is fun and it is a game. It's not that easy, because every conflict token that is adjacent to your agent token will reduce your undercover meter. If it goes to cover blown, the license to kill event starts for all players. Well, it wouldn't be a James Bond game without a bit of action. The video game does this through the license to kill mechanic, and I have included that in the board game as well. When LTK is active, all active conflict tokens are replaced with LTK tokens, and while LTK is active, all token spawning will be LTK tokens. When overpowered, instead of being restrained, agents lose health. If all health is lost, an agent is killed in action. The lethality is not helped by LTK tokens spawning in every room at the end of the turn. An extra LTK token spawns in the room per agent present. The mission card includes an extraction point for either when all intel is gathered or if LTK is active. Players do not lose if LTK is activated, but they do not succeed the mission either when extracted. If any player was playing the long game and brought the missile pen, they're gonna have a blast. Quite literally. Usage of the missile pen is only allowed during LTK. The player may spend 2 charges to remove 2 LTK tokens from the room. LTK tokens still count as conflict tokens, so flash mines, smoke pods, and shock cameras are still viable defenses or offenses, and the resolve conflict action still works. Good luck getting out of there, especially if LTK starts when you're split up. Unfortunately, I am not rich enough to buy the 007 property, so this is of course just purely a concept I made for fun. Anyway, now you know how 007 First Light would look like as a board game and how to play this non-existent board game. What video game should I try to convert into a board game next? Let me know your suggestions below. Until next time, goodbye and see you soon.